Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Reedy.
Hello, Shirley. Hello, everyone.
This is Point of View with Shirley and Cleester today. And we know that Eula and Merethah are with us sometimes, but they're not with us today. So it's the two of us today. So we just thank God for blessing us to be here today. This is December the 13th in the year
Yeah.
2022. And let me see, on the 15th, we'll be celebrating my favorite son's
Yes,
birthday.
I thought about that this morning. I thought about
Yes.
that this morning.
And what is the other announcement, Reedy?
I don't know.
Family.
Happy Family Day.
We have a new addition to our
Uh-huh.
family.
Yes, we do.
Jo-
Her name is, I can't, Braylon. Braylon?
no,
Something Braylon. Girl, you
it's
know I remember.
Ellison. Ellison.
Ellison Braylon.
Uh-huh. That's her first
Braylon.
name.
Ellison Braylon. Yes.
Okay. J- yes.
Yes.
And so
Jordan Johnson.
Johnson. Uh-huh. And she is our nephew's. There's their new baby
Niece.
girl.
Yes.
Michelle and Jordan. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our family is growing, growing, growing. So we
Yes.
just want to say that. So I'm going to go ahead and pray, dear God, as we sit before you to speak. We pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. And so I'm just delighted today. My topic, I'm talking about facades today, and some people might read it facades, like we talked about facades today. So we're going to go there and read it. What's your topic?
My topic is life in the fast lane.
Woo, woo,
Living life
woo.
fast.
Living life fast. My goodness. So a lot of people do that.
But I want to straighten up straight because I did say Ellison's wrong name, but it's Braille or Brielle.
Okay.
Brielle or Brielle. I did say her
Okay.
name wrong. But
But
she
at
is
first,
gorgeous.
yes,
She
she
is
is.
gorgeous.
Yes,
She
she
is.
is.
I woke up this morning, saw those pictures because I was sleeping last night because I worked yesterday. I was sleeping last night. I woke up this morning, those pictures, and I was like, oh, wow, she is gorgeous.
She is.
She
She
is
is.
gorgeous.
Yes, ma'am. So we are just so thankful that Michelle is doing well. And Jordan too, because he
And
emotionally
Ellison,
went through it.
yes,
And
yes.
Ellison, of
And
course.
Ellison, yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, we're just so happy about it and thankful to God, thankful to God. Now, Reedy, I'm going to turn it to you, over to you.
And she would when I'm not ready.
Oh, okay.
Cause you know I'm grown. You know I told y'all I'm
Yeah,
grown.
you
Y'all better
grown, but I bet,
hey,
but go ahead and I'm not going to say it.
yeah, mess with grown folk.
Yeah, grown folks. Sometimes you just have to let people be grown.
It's what you're trying to say. What are you trying to
Oh,
say?
yeah, you have to let people be grown, especially
I'm grown too. I'm
when you
grown. Oh, I'm
when your
grown.
children tell you that you know better, you know, I'm grown.
I'm grown.
Okie
I do what I
dokie.
want to. I am
Be
grown.
grown. Okie dokie.
I was
she
grown and sick for 3 days.
well, she's grown though.
And then you gonna call me and tell, well, you still grown this morning?
After, of course, I waited till you felt better. You know
I
that.
know it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And Clem, we were talking about the other day when we were talking about some of the your favorite memories about Christmas, and Theta was talking about the turkey on Emma and the turkey and the duck. But she said, "It looks like you're frozen. Are you frozen? Oh my goodness." She's frozen. But anyway, Clear tell
I
you a little
missed
bit
all
more.
of that because you froze up on me.
Right, it did. I said on the other day we were talking about that'll mention some of the memories, and she talked about Aunt Emma and the turkey and it was a duck,
It
right?
was a duck. Yes.
Not a goose.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
not a
a
goose. It
duck.
was a duck. Yes.
Yes,
Mama
and
said, Mama hey, say, why we go, Emma? Stuff the duck and the turkey. They come back, they were looking, well, Emma, where's the duck? It's in the turkey. Mother, how in the world did you get that duck in that turkey? And she
oh
didn't
my goodness,
tear it. She did not tear it. She did not tear that turkey. That whole,
she got it in there.
yes, she got that duck in that
Oh
turkey.
yeah, we had some
And
great,
Aunt
great, great
Emma is the one
memories.
Aunt Emma is the one that invented turducken.
Uh,
Hey!
Aunt Emma, Emily Butler Gooden.
She sure did. She invented the turducken
Oh yes,
back
she
in the
did.
60s. Well, that's 60s or 70s. I don't think Lamb was born yet.
I she might have been a baby,
Might have been a
maybe.
baby. But it
Yeah.
happened in the early 70s. Aunt Emma,
Yes. Yes.
Emily, invented turducken.
Oh yes, yes, yes. And then reading some of the comments later on, and Lady Patsy Reed said she got in trouble with her toys, her toys too on Christmas. And then oh my, I know her name. Ruffins. What's her first? Gloria. She says she had fond memories too of Christmas. So people have
Uh-huh.
been watching, and sometimes they don't be watching right when we're on live, but they go back, they go and watch us, and we thank you so much for
Yeah.
watching us. And
Yes.
so yes, so we're going to talk some more about Christmas because I think we have one more before Christmas, right?
Yes. Yes, we
One or
do.
two more before Christmas.
Oh, we got one, two, three.
Before Christmas.
Yes, ma'am. We got
Wow.
Thursday of this week, then
Hmm.
Tuesday the 19th, and then Thursday the 22nd.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get some good ones.
Yes, we can have some good Christmas stories.
My
And
sinuses
if
are getting me. So,
and if
Reedy, I'm going to
anybody
turn.
have any Christmas stories they want us to tell, share,
Mm-hmm.
let us
Mm-hmm.
know. We'll be glad to
Yes.
share them
So I'm
because
going to turn
sometimes
it.
those stories are too good to keep to yourself.
It's in your hands because my sinuses are acting up on me. I'm not gone.
Okay.
I'm coming back.
Okay. Mine is living fast. You know that fast life in the fast lane. They even got a song on life in the fast lane. Okay, mine is from psychologyspot.com, and it's living fast. Isn't living, it's surviving. And it's from Dr. Rebecca Sullivan. And she says, I think that I say living a fast life is not living, it's surviving. Our culture instills in us the fear of wasting time. But a paradox is that acceleration makes us waste our lives. Today, everyone suffers from disease of time, the obsessive belief that time is moving away and you have to pedal faster and faster. Speed is a way of not facing what happens to your body or your mind to avoid important questions. We travel constantly in the fast lane, full of emotions, adrenaline, stimulant, and that means we never have time and tranquility that we need to reflect and ask ourselves what is really important. These words of the Canadian journalist Carl Harney is in his In Praise of Slow invite us to reflect. We are worried about not losing a detail, so worried about rushing until the last sip that we don't realize that through the haste our lives escape us. The faster we go, the more we will be confused by our own rhythm, falling victim to a vertigo that prevents us from seeing beyond daily occupations, from that constant movement through which life escapes a second by second. This state of hyperactivity leads us to live by inertia on autopilot, devoting all our energy to external goals that rust over time and make us forget that what are really important things in life. We think the more busy we are, the more we take advantage of our lives. And we're even proud of having a full schedule, not having a minute free. However, when we jump from one commitment to another, we let the others decide in our place. Then we submit more or less unconsciously to the social dictatorship, which encourages us to go faster and faster because they know that speed takes away from our time to think, a precious time to connect with ourselves and decide what we really want. When we live in the fast lane, when we live in the fast life, I said fast lane, we constantly look forward to a future that is really programmed and decided to the millimeter. Shirley, get that millimeter in there. We're encouraged to do more and more things in less time, but that doesn't necessarily bring us more satisfaction. Because I know some jobs, they stress how fast you have to go. Some jobs make it a point. If you don't go fast enough, you lose your job because you're not as fast as they want you to be. Today, hurry is not limited to work. It has contaminated all spheres of life, extending even to leisure. You have to see more in less time, try more in less time, take a quick selfie, and follow up with the next photos that incidentally will serve as a moldly, excuse me, a moldly reminder that we were there, a vague
Mhm.
remembrance of what it could have been, but it wasn't.
Mhm.
This haste leaves no room for the necessary pause that invites reflection and creativity. Silence and rest, two basic needs, have become a luxury. This hurry actually decides our capacity for enjoyment and pleasure. It prevents
Mhm.
us from enjoying all the small things. There is another way to live, the eternal instant. If we want to live in society, sometimes we have no choice but to stick to the modern haste. There aren't
Mhm.
there aren't many alternatives, especially at work. However, we must ensure that it doesn't become a, a lay motive in our life. A lay motive in our life.
Okay.
We must protect with zeal the right to put our life in slow motion, enjoy what we want, and quietly without guilt. In
Mhm.
Buddhism, there is a very interesting concept that could become kind of an antidote to haste, the eternal instant.
Mhm.
According to this philosophy, if we live fully present in here and now,
Mhm.
past and future will are blurred.
Mhm.
When we are fully aware, when our mind is not in what we have left to do and what we have already done, but in what we are doing, we
Okay.
enjoy more. The life stops being an obstacle race to overcome and become wonderful reality to experience. It's a change that's worth it, don't you think? And there we are. I told you, mine wasn't quick because I remember I was going to do it last time. It was quick, short, and fast, and in a hurry. So we should
Okay.
take time. In other words, take time to smell the roses.
All right.
Take time to smell the roses. Take time to spend with your family. Take all
Yes.
this hurry up and get nowhere fast is just tiresome.
Yeah.
It's tiresome. And you
Yeah.
don't really get to enjoy your life because everything is hurry up and go, hurry up and go, hurry up and go. There I am. That's it. There I am for real by myself.
That was great reading. My sinuses just started draining. I mean, I tell you. So
Oh my goodness.
they've been doing it this morning, but I got them settled down, and then they started again. I guess it's because I'm drinking this tea. But
Is it
that
hot?
was wonderful.
Is it
Yes,
hot? Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, that'll open it up.
living in the fast lane.
Living in the fast lane, baby. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. And you remember we that was it says some people live in the fast lane, so they don't get to see what the whole day is because they're moving so fast and they don't take the opportunity of enjoying the day.
Enjoy
And
it,
there was
right.
something that I mentioned. It says, seize the day or the day will seize you.
There it is.
Take time, like you said, take time and
Take time.
smell
Smell
the
the roses.
roses.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Take time
Take
to smell
time.
the roses. That was wonderful reading.
Take
So,
time to
so
spend with family because tomorrow's
right.
not promised to anybody. We can
No,
rush
it's
through the
not.
day and then tomorrow we not wake up and it's not promised to anybody.
Not anybody. And that's why
Nobody.
I try so much so and try to keep up with the family. If I say I'm going to do something with the family, I try to do it. And just like a
Mm-hmm.
Saturday when we were up for the funeral, I was supposed to go by and see Nikki and Mario, but I didn't get to because it was raining so till I needed to get on back to the house. So I will, God
Uh-huh.
willing, make that trip up. And so I
Yep.
always try to keep my word with family and whoever I give my word to because
Right.
hey, I we need to take our time and do the things that God blesses us to do. Because
Yep.
Thad and I, we were talking about family time the other day. Thad and Alyssa and I were talking about family time, and that is very important time. Like you said, Rita, we don't. Hey, all we have is now.
That's it. That's all
All
we
we
have is
have is
now.
now. So slow down, take time and smell the roses.
Smell the
Hello,
roses.
everyone. Thank you for being
Smell
here
the
with
roses.
us today. Smell the roses. Now, I was,
Yes.
when we are things, there are certain things that happen that trigger certain thoughts in our minds.
Uh-huh.
And so I was thinking, and I see people sometimes, and they're you can tell, and we used to call it putting on airs.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh. But it's a facade where they put up facades and a facade, that's putting a mask on,
Yep.
pretending to be someone else and portraying someone else, facially. So I'm going to talk about this. What are ways people put up facades? Okay, and this is from let me see. Let me get the site here. Well, anyway, the writer is Kyra Sheehan, and she wrote this, put it up in September of 2017, September 28th. And the site is data, text, HTML. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know. But anyway, we know Kyra is getting the credit because she wrote this, okay? She
Uh-huh.
said a facade is a form of personality change that is performed to fulfill a particular emotion you wish to portray. When people put up facades, they are acting on the outside differently than how they are feeling on the inside. And you see people there, it seems like they overcompensate. It seems like they're trying to compensate for some shortage.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So these are many reasons. There are many reasons that people put up facades and a variety of ways to do it. And so here's one of the ways: a facial facade. People confront false emotions through their faces. For instance, if a woman wants to give the impression that she is happy, she might smile a lot and give a wide eyed expression. On the inside, however, she could feel a variety of other emotions such as jealousy, sadness, or anger. She also can put up a facade of being sad by frowning and crossing her brow. And so, and I was thinking about this time of the year and the holiday seasons. You see many facades. People put up a lot of facades because of things that uh, they are lacking or things that they think might not happen for them on the holidays, and so they compensate for that by putting up a facade, showing one feeling on the outside, but they're really feeling down and out on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so there are gesture facades. Some people put up facades through their gestures: a hug, a kiss, or a handshake
Mm-hmm.
are examples of gestures that allow a person to appear pleasant on the outside while the person attempts to conceal his true feelings within. And it's really sad because if we could look inside someone, we would just probably be just heartbroken if we could
Just
see
thought,
how
yes,
they're
yes.
really feeling. And then we can see through their facial expression sometimes that no, he or she is not feeling like they are trying to
Like,
get
yep.
people to
Mm-hmm.
think they're feeling, because we can read people too. We can
Yep.
read people too.
It's true.
An,
Yep.
ex- an example of a scenario that warrants a gesture facade is that a man running into his ex-wife and her new that of a man running into his ex-wife and her new husband. The man might feel devastated on the inside, but on the outside he conceals his feelings by shaking hands with the new husband and giving the ex-wife a kiss on the cheek. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on I guess it depends on how the relationship ended, huh?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep. And there are verbal facades too. A verbal
Yes.
facade happens when someone verbally tells you that she is all right, happy,
Mm-hmm.
healthy, positive, and peachy, when really she may be suffering on the inside.
Right.
The person who puts up a verbal facade always tells you that she is doing great, but will never give you the real scoop or an impression that anything else could be ongoing or going on. Now, when I say I'm feeling great because we all go through things. But then, letting those things take over us, that's what we have to prevent and keep
Yes.
from letting those feelings
Yes.
take over us. Because I say, hey, I'm great. I say fine and dandy. And I am, but that doesn't mean that I don't have something going on, but it's not eating away at me to the point that
Mm-hmm.
I have to fake it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I don't do, I'm not going to do
And
that.
they have that saying to fake it till you make it.
Uh-huh. And some
That.
people have to fake it
Yep.
until they make it. And just like they're talking about this man, like a man running into his ex-wife with her new husband, same thing with
Uh-huh.
women running into their ex significant other, or sometimes they don't even be the ex. They be the present, and they run
Yeah.
into people. I was watching. Do you watch Family Law?
Uh-uh.
So this lady and her husband, well, he cheated on her with a woman. Then she was a drinker, and so she had a problem. Now she's working on the problem. So they're supposed to be working it out, and she's supposed to be moving back into the house temporarily, like in the basement apartment or whatever, so they can
Uh-huh.
work out the situation, the thing.
Uh-huh.
So she found out that through a text, the man gave his their son, the phone because he was going on a sleepover. So he gave his son the old phone.
Uh-huh.
And the mama was taking him over on the sleepover, and he got a text, and the little boy said, "Oh, it said, Dad's still getting old texts on this phone." And so, mind you, they're supposed to be working on their relationship.
Right.
So she read the thing, and next thing you know, she's walking into this hotel, and she sees him and this woman who he got a text from on that phone in the elevator. And so she goes and she says something to him, and she looks at the woman and said, "So, oh, you're whatever her name is," said, "and I'm not happy to meet you," or something like that. She said, "and it's not a pleasure to meet you," and walked off. And so she didn't put on a facade. She told her how it was.
Just told that tell
She
like you
should.
see I is.
That's right. She said, "It's not a pleasure to meet you." So everybody, sometimes they put them up. And then that's why, God has given us a gift of reading people too, because
Yeah.
many times we can see the hurt in people, even though
Yes.
they are putting on a facade. And then sometimes the spirit will lead us to talk with that person, or, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Yep.
to, just try to be nice to them. And
Yep.
that could change a person's whole day, the whole
Yes, it
outlook on
is. Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. So there are material facades. A material facade occurs when someone makes himself appear to be of a certain social class to which he does not really belong. And we know people that do that.
All
For
the time.
instance, a man who wants to look rich will put up a material facade by leasing a fancy car, dressing
Mm-hmm.
up, wearing
Mm-hmm.
expensive jewelry, dating wealthy women, and acting the part overall. People can also put up materialistic facades to cover the fact that they are unhappy. For
Mm-hmm.
instance, an extravagant new car might be the facade of a man who is unhappy with his career.
Yeah.
And so like people come to town. I'm not saying everybody, but my auntie hipped me to this one time. And people come to town, they be in these new cars, and I'm not saying they're not all theirs. That's not what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
But
Uh-huh.
she was more up to date on the situations. And so when people come to town, they be driving these nice cars, and they be, having all these,
Yep.
just, I mean, you just think
Yes.
they're super rich, just
Yes.
doing very well. And she said they're renting those cars, and then they save up for so long to be able to put on, the well, you can
The
call it facade.
the
Yes,
facade. Yes. Yes.
yes. And she said they rent those cars, and she
And
hipped
save
me
up
to
all
that.
year to make this one trip to look
Right.
rich.
And then some of them act so sedity, you can't. I mean, but anyway, some people do. Some people do. So anyway, so there's the secret facade of the vulnerable narcissist. So this is Psych Central. So Psych Central gets off into it. It said,
Yes.
at first they seem so quiet and unobtrusive, a refreshing break from the normal banter of one-upmanship that frequently dominates an initial conversation. But then the sly remarks characteristic of inattentiveness began, along with the victimization mentality where the whole world is out to get them, and hypersensitivity to unintentional disparaging comments. The switch is so dramatic that it's hardly noticeable until it becomes unnerving. Talking about a vulnerable narcissist, the
Mm-hmm.
facade of one. So they could be one thing. I mean, this second, then they start graduating. Next thing you know, they're out of control. The narcissistic qualities of a vulnerable narcissist, and they VN is the acronym for that, are masked by helplessness, emotionality, and reticent behavior. They are not dissimilar to covert or introverted narcissistics, which by far under the grandiose radar, which fly far, excuse me, under the grandiose radar of a typical narcissist. So here are some signs of a vulnerable narcissist, and I'm sure we've seen these in people. Hopefully they haven't seen these in us, but anyway, they are typically highly sensitive people to the extreme level. Only their feelings have significance or importance, not another's. We've seen people, it seems like if it's not about them, nothing counts. Everything's
Yep.
got to be
That's it.
focused
That's it.
on them, right? So instead of using their
Yep.
sensitivity to understand and meet the needs of others, they take offense to the slightest emotional reaction, personalize other person's feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
ultimately make it all about them.
Yep.
So just like the grandiose narcissist, that's the grandiose narcissist, that's a GN. VNs like to be considered a perfectionist in their area of specialty. Then, however, while GNs will insist they are perfect and believe others see them that way, VNs believe they are perfect, but others fail to see them that way. Okay? So there are people really out here in this world that feel like they are perfect.
Yep.
They are it. Like I talk about this supervisor in the church. She said they think they are a bag of all that and a bag of
And a bag
potato
of
chips.
chips.
Some people think that. So, however, while GNs, that's a grandiose narcissist, insist they are perfect and believe others see them that way. The VN, vulnerable narcissists, believe they are perfect, but others fail to see them that way. And the reason I'm bringing this, I believe, is because we need to be more aware during these seasons, and so that we can feel what people are going through to the point where we can have sympathy or empathy with them and
Mm-hmm.
try as much as we can, and not over being over, what is
Yep.
it, overzealous or whatever, but try to make people feel and know that it's all right, that it's
Mm-hmm.
all right, and that they are included. However, while GNs will insist they are perfect and believe others then that see them way, then that other one doesn't think. Okay, the VN is similar to the emotional up and downs of borderline personality disorder, but without the self-harming behavior that is characteristic to BPD. VNs might threaten to self-harm as an intimidation tactic,
Right.
but usually do not follow through. And I guess you've heard people say, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill myself, or if you don't do this, I'm going to do that, and hold people
Mm-hmm.
hostage
Yep.
because they're threatening to harm themselves.
Yep.
So there is no healthy way to question the emotions and subsequent responses of a VN, as
Mm-hmm.
they are always right. A vulnerable narcissist is always right to
Always.
themselves. And
Yep.
I've seen people like that too. So
Yep.
even when the emotion is out of proportion to the event, it still cannot be examined for any fault.
Mm-hmm.
VNs are more prone to depression because the reality of their life doesn't meet the fantasy life they feel entitled to receive. This
Yes.
inconsistency might cause them to quit jobs without any regard for the consequences of the decision, because the workplace does not live up to their expectations.
Expectations. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, they are it.
Yep.
Okay? The
Ah.
victim card, the victim card is routinely played to justify actions that others may see as disconcerting. Typical statements include, everyone is out to get me because I'm better than
Yeah.
them.
Yes,
Or
Lord.
this is not my fault, but someone else's fault. And we have heard at one time or another that people say, well, they don't like me because I have this and I have that, and they're just jealous of me, and that's why they do what they don't like me and stuff.
They don't
People are
like me. They always
ye-
lying on me because I got this and I got that and I done done
yes,
this and I done done that.
yes,
And they'll never
yes.
have what I have.
Right, right. So when one of the other interesting characteristics of a vulnerable narcissist, that's the VN, is their classic passive aggressive behavior. We've talked about
Yes.
all these things.
Yes.
They typically will ignore a person as punishment for not doing what they were told, not looking good enough, or not being as smart as they are.
Yep.
Boy, these people have a problem, don't they? Similar to BPD, VNs are plagued by chronic feelings of emptiness. However, unlike BPDs, who try to fill the void with new and exciting relationships, VNs become more introverted. They start going inside, going back in. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this withdrawal is because no one will ever be good enough to engage in an intimate relationship. The fantasy person is non existent. The massive insecurity at the root of narcissism is covered with silence instead of grandiose behavior. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, they are extremely judgmental of anyone who displays pretentious, flamboyant, or lavish behavior. But they are full of themselves, aren't they?
Yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
Wow. Unlike grandiose narcissists, vulnerable narcissists are very talented in using false humility and shallow apologies to get what they want.
Yep.
However, When pressed, even they will agree that they don't mean it and will even blame the other person's weakness for having to apologize in the first place.
Yes,
Now
indeed.
they say, "No, okay, I know I don't come up to it. I know that I admit, no, I'm not quite telling the truth or whatever. But now it's your fault that I'm
that
saying this.
I did this. I said this.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's not my fault. It's you.
It's you. You called me to do that.
Yes, yes. Cause me to have to apologize, even though I know I'm wrong." So, because of the complete lack of intimate relationships, VNs may do better with online relationships than face to face. This allows the VN to maintain the illusory relationship as being more significant than it is. Instead of being charming like the GNs, VNs act aloof, smug, disinterested, bored, condescending,
Yep.
inattentive, and
Yep.
judgmental around others. They use this tactic to draw others in without having to engage in a real conversation. And they want to
Yep.
sit around, and say, what? Well, people, what's wrong? What's the matter? What's it? And see, you have to know how to deal with these people. They want you to feel sorry for them.
Right.
They want you to give them all that attention, but there's a way to give them attention where they won't be able to be basking in that opportunity. When you have to use wisdom too when dealing with these kind of people. Instead of going up to them, well, what's the matter? Are you sad and everything? Just kind of ease up and say, hey, did you get you a drink? Did you want something to eat or whatever? There's a way. You have to be wise in dealing with these kinds of people. First, you
Yes.
have to recognize the kind of personality it is, and then you have to be able to deal with it. And so that's why we bring these things, because this holiday season, we're going to see it come out even more,
Yes.
because there are
Yes.
people trying to compensate for what they feel like they're not going to get, because so many people, and even little children in school and everything, some of them might get upset quickly or something like that, and they see things going on, all kinds of emotions and things, and they say, well,
Mhm.
she's acting out and she never does that, or he's acting out and he never does that, or he's withdrawn or she's withdrawn. It's because they're having to deal with the holiday season, and
Right.
then they're putting on, well, like a facade. So if they're sad, then they might act mad,
Yep.
or something like
Yep.
that. So they're trying to compensate for what the reality they feel like is I'm not going to be
Mhm.
able to get this, because we know some children, and like this Christmas season, and we're so used to getting gifts and everything, and we never went without or anything like that. But there are some children that just have to go without.
Yes.
And that's sad. That is so sad. Some people, and then we make such a big deal out of this holiday season and everything. And we've done it because that's how we grew up. That's the atmosphere.
Yep.
The holidays, gift giving, and all of that. That's the atmosphere. But then
Mm-hmm.
that's why we have these charities, and that's why we have the spirit of giving, and that's why we should ask God to bless us to be able to discern people's spirits,
Amen.
and then not
Yes.
only discern but be able to deal with them in a wise way, as to bring their spirit, and the cheerfulness, give them some kind of an uplift or something. It might not be a material thing or whatever, just being kind to someone, well, like
Yep.
I said, and we say it over and over, will change the person's day.
Yep.
Just for people speaking to them, like I've said before, this man told me, thank you for speaking to me. Just said, thank you for speaking to me. And tears were going down his face because I spoke to him. Because I spoke to him. So anyway, we have to really, really be careful, because it could go another way too. If we're hard,
Yes.
well, you don't want to talk to me. Well, that's okay. Some people get huffy and they don't
Yep.
know what's happening on the
Mm-hmm.
inside of people. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
what frame
Yep.
of mind people are in. So if they act like this, if they're bored, if they act bored, condescending, inattentive, judgmental, around others, there's an underlying cause for that.
Yep.
Most of the time. Well, all
Yep.
of the time. I would say all of the
That's true.
time. And so
All the
we have
time.
to know we have to be wise in dealing with people, with our fellow
Yes.
man.
Sometimes you got to be cunning.
That's it, Clee. That's it.
You
That's
do.
it. I say wise as a serpent, harmless as doves.
Uh-huh.
Yes, ma'am. They're cunning. Cunning.
Cunning.
Yes.
Yes.
And harmless. That's right. Don't
Yes.
let a VN fool you into thinking that they are unlike the GN counterparts. They actually have far more in common and are very capable of narcissistic behavior. It is just it is just done. It is just done in a sneaky manner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we know some sneaky people too, don't
Oh,
we?
we know some sneakers. Hey, we know some sneakers.
And sometimes we've been sneaky too. Huh?
You got to be that sneak the sneaker. You
That's
got to
right.
be sneaky to out sneak
I
the
sneak the
sneaker.
sneaker. That's right. That is so true, Reedy. But that's mine for today. I just felt like because I see people and you're around people sometimes and that you know they see you.
Yes.
You know they see you and then you speak and they act like they don't hear you.
Yep.
And then you speak again and then they may acknowledge you. Sometimes it takes three times, but then those
Three times.
people are having
Yes, it
problems.
does.
Because trying to compensate for some thing that they feel like they're lacking.
Yep. Yep.
They are. And so we have to realize that. And so we have to really be compassionate with our fellow man. We know that means women and everything. So we have to know how to deal with people. And we think about ourselves. If we were in that position, we would want
Mm-hmm.
somebody to have compassion on us. But then we
Yes.
can't put ourselves in danger either with these people. So we have to know when to act and when not to act. Because some people, they just don't want to be bothered. And so they might be at a boiling point by the time they get to you or me.
Yep. Because they didn't have to listen to all them other sneakers.
Yes. Yes.
And then when
So,
they come to you, a genuine person, now they got to adjust their attitude, but they can't.
yes, I never will forget that happened to me one time. It might have happened more than once. And so people were just talking about a certain thing that was going on. And I wasn't in the stuff. I really wasn't. And so it was just so much going on. And the person and I were friends. And I just said, I hear, what people are saying. And I said, I'm praying for you. And honey, child,
Hey,
another person came and that person colored him itself going up one side of me and down the other. Now I didn't have anything to do with the stuff. Nothing. And the person and I were friends that I just said those few words to. I know I hear what people are saying. I'm praying for you. Went on about my business and then got told off.
hey.
And then all the other people are doing malicious gossip about the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that person chose me to
To unload on. To
uh-huh,
unload on.
uh-huh.
Hey.
And I thank God that he gave me self-control, even though I did see red. I literally saw red. I actually did see
Oh, I
red.
believe it. I believe it because I've seen red many times.
And so when people say I saw red, believe them.
Believe them. That's right. Believe them.
Because I
Hold me
saw
back, Jesus, because I'm gonna let go.
after it was over, I just like because the person didn't give me a chance to say anything, you
Uh huh.
know. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like in minding my own business, off somewhere to myself, and that person finds me and then unloads on me, but I wasn't even the one in the mix. But then the people depend on your what is it, your mannerism or your lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
because the person knew, and I thank God that He helped me, that I wouldn't just, act real quick on
Right.
start to, what is it, laying hands, but uh,
Laying
they wouldn't
hands.
they wouldn't have been the, I don't think they'd have been the sanctified kind.
Lay hands.
I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. I do. I thank God. But I did see red. And then I said, nah, stay away from me. So I'm saying to myself, please don't come back. Because I could see when I was seeing the red, some other stuff happening too. And I didn't want that to happen. So people need to be very careful and everything. But I thank God at least it chose me, and I stood the test. And I am so
Amen.
glad because
Hallelujah.
we like people, but like I said, like I was sitting in there minding my own business. Now, what if I had been thinking about something, or something was weighing heavy on my mind that was
Uh-huh.
bothering me, that would
Yep.
overshadow
Yep. That's
my
true.
calmness and everything? It would have been so nice. But I thank God. So people have to really be careful when they approach people, and you just have to be careful. And most of all, God tells us to love each other, have compassion for our brothers and sisters, mankind. And so that's why
Yes.
it's so much evil going on now. People are evil. The world itself is not evil. It's a lot of the people in the
People.
world that
That's
are
right.
doing the evil things.
That is true.
And so the facades, people put on facades. And so we just have to be able to be kind to everyone. And sometimes, like I was saying, I think I said, you be kind to people. And if they don't want to be bothered with you, then you move on.
Keep on moving.
You
That's
have to
it.
do that, because some people get huffy with people, and then try to talk back, oh, you don't want to say nothing to me. We have
Uh-huh.
people say,
Yep. Yep.
uh-huh,
Yeah, you wasn't talking like that yesterday. Now today you got a whole different attitude.
uh-huh. And have you ever seen people that you, when you meet them, or you see, like you were saying, you see them today, and then tomorrow they act like they don't know who you
Like
are.
they don't know. Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that could be that's some stuff that's going on in people's minds too. And then, like I said, some of these people are just puffed up also,
Yep.
and it depends on who they're around, because some people think they're so superior to other people, and it depends on what group of people they're around as to whether they acknowledge certain people or not. And so there are all kinds of things that we have to deal with, and those people themselves are putting on a facade, you know. So anyway, we just I think I made some sense with this, right? I just want people to be aware. Are you frozen again, Reedy? I just want people to be aware of the fact that during the holiday season, there are many different personalities that come out because people have pressure on them. Things are going on inside in their minds. So many things are happening. So we must be mindful of each other and be aware of these things, different things that are going on in our lives. Okay. And all I want to do is just give information as I find it, and just share it. So then many times people appear to be happy and everything, but sometimes they're just trying to compensate for how they really feel on the inside. So I don't know whether Rita is coming back or not. Let me see if she sent a message. Uh, no, she didn't send it. So let me go back. So all right, everybody. So I don't know whether Reedy's coming back, but I'm going to wait. So thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a pleasure, and God willing, we'll see you Thursday. Uh, for Point of View, Shirley, Cleester, Eula, and Merethah. And so Eula will probably be out of school pretty soon for the holidays, and God willing, she'll be back with us too. And then, of course, Merethah will be back when she can too. Today just didn't work out for her. So I just want to tell you that we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for being here with us on Point of View with Shirley, Cleester, Eula, and Merethah. And so I am going to go on and sign off because I think Clee has she's done hers, and so I don't know whether the weather might be acting up down there or whatever. But I tell you what, just continue to be with us. Thank you so much. We love you, and I am going to go out. Enjoy the remainder of your day.